Welcome back. Yes, what's up? How was your weekend? Or weekends? So, again, I'm gonna be doing a bit of a journal exposure again. This one is Try Hard Ninja, though I have to clarify because I don't think a lot of people think the way I do, but journal exposure to me was basically a way of getting my thoughts out on my channel. It's not for a literal option of what I'm gonna do. This is a distraction until I can manage to get a story out. I'm trying my best right now to manage my dreams and my channel at the same time. I'm probably doing a great job. Yeah, definitely. Now, Tryhard Ninja is a very iconic individual when it comes to nerdcore music. He is nostalgia in the nerdcore form. Not only because his fans are older now and only remember the days he released his biggest hits. Well, I mean, not all his fans, obviously. But because he only dominates this title by making reanimated music videos for songs that he already made. These are mostly Five Nights at Freddy's songs, but I know Try Hard Ninja for some other really iconic songs. Assassin's Creed song Shadows, Huggy Wuggy from Poppy Playtime's song Free Hugs, the Rainbow Friends song Friends Like These. Now, if you asked me separately, what do these titles mean? I'd straight up go blank. I have no idea what Assassin's Creed is. I love Huggy Wuggy from Poppy Playtime, but that's the only thing I like about Poppy Playtime. I have literal below zero knowledge of what the Rainbow Friends are, apart from rock music's sick beats. But Try Hard Ninja gave me a reason to get into nerdcore music in the first place. Try Hard Ninja was my first introduction into what nerdcore music was, is, and probably will always be. So after him came JT Rap, then came Chaotic Canine Culture, then came Oreo, I think that's how you say her name, then came CG5, then came Rocket Music, then came Day Games, then came the others, whom I don't really know that well, but they look more like the newer generation of nerdcore artists, so I'll probably get into that in the future. For now, it's Try Hard Ninja, the one who started it all. That's a dramatic title right there. He's got good beats, which is necessary for every nerdcore artist. No offense, but you really can't call yourself a nerdcore artist if you don't have the nerd in the core of your music. Everybody knows nerds are computers, okay? My first introduction to Try Hard Ninja was It's Me. And he repeats that same line in a different song. I just don't remember which one. He might repeat it throughout the Five Nights at Freddy's series of his songs, but I wouldn't really know because I don't listen to all of them. Yeah, my favorite remains in the category of the ones I can remember. One is from Hello Neighbor, which is a game Super Horror Bro also played. The song is called What Are You Hiding? Try Hard Ninja is definitely above CG5 level favorite. I don't know why, because I know if this were a competition, CG5 would definitely deserve the trophy. Try Hard Ninja has something in his vocals that makes it feel like my eardrum is really connecting with the rhythm. I'm a very easy to please individual, because I'm not really in the position to be a critic if my own art can't even match my expectations. My expectations aren't that high, so... But Try Hard Ninja has been a great inspiration for my growth, as you can see. He gives a little extra life to who Huggy Wuggy is. I'm sorry, but I think those are my favorite songs. Free Hugs and I'll Never Leave You. There's no replacement for these because it feels like he took more of an effort in making Huggy Wuggy the character he is, more than what the developers of the actual game did. And that's no offense to them, but because I'm guilty of tossing around a character who's literally a part of the wallpaper of your story, because it's hard keeping track of that. And that's why nerdcore music is important. It gives life to characters who probably would have been considered disposable. It gives a second opinion as to what this character is and what its values are. I'm attracted to nerdcore artists because they basically tell their own version of what type of atmosphere they get from what it is that inspired them to make a song in the first place. Try Hard Ninja is more advanced in his instrumentals, whereas I guess CG5 is more advanced in his vocals. But I like his lyrics. I love his lyrics, especially the vocal shiftment. Vocal shiftment is something I made up. If it's a real thing, I'll actually be shocked, because everything I make up ends up being stupid. But in my opinion, vocal shiftment is when a singer shifts into the beat, or into the rhythm. The rhythm of their tone just blends into the song, and the song wouldn't be the same without the vocals. Obviously not, but I mean, I don't really prefer his instrumentals. They're great, incredible, and I can really live into the moment of the song, but the lyrics improve the atmosphere. I might have abandonment issues because I don't really like it if there are more instrumental moments than chorus moments. Silence in a song is nice and definitely gives Tryhard Ninja an opportunity to add an extra beat, which he blends like a bartender does with a drink. Absolute excellence. But spending too much time on the instrumental avoids effort for the storytelling in the lyrics themselves, which is why I appreciate Tryhard Ninja as an incredible nerdcore artist. Storytelling through a song isn't easy because you have to constantly rhyme your ideas and what is required to be added to complement the original idea of the song that's inspired by a game or a series or really anything in general that's kind of an animation or nerdy, you know? Every artist does this, but Tryhard Ninja has my hat in his ring because I just haven't found anybody do it better than him. And I might have just misused that metaphor, but whatever. And sometimes he doesn't tell the story, but instead he lets the rhythm or the chorus of the song itself deliver the feeling. My throat is getting dry. Like what he does with Infected and Shadows. Shadows gives a revolutionary vibe as well as Infected. Infected doesn't have that much of a story atmosphere, but rather the atmosphere itself. I'm using that word a lot, but it helps basically explain my thoughts. And Shadows loops. That sounds weird. I mean, Shadows doesn't have as much of a lyrical standpoint as it does an atmospheric one. I found a new pronunciation for the word, but it's still the same word. It's like anarchy, communism, Robin Hood. Does it really need more of an explanation, or am I just doing a bad job? Point is, I know I don't have to go back to Tryhard Ninja because I never left Tryhard Ninja. I always had his songs in my playlist despite getting older. He's just one iconic person I'll never remove from my portfolio, if I ever made a physical version of that. Well, I guess this is the end of my journal exposure. It took a while for it to get here because I was in a bad mood. It was supposed to be here about 7 days ago, but I was still figuring out the timeline of my future assessments. That doesn't make sense, but it makes sense to me. But I will make a video like this at least every 7, maybe 10 days, maybe even longer, because I don't know how puberty works, but I'm glad I did it. Not because I got subscribers and views out of it, but because it was journal exposure. It was mentally stimulating as much as this one was. Wait, what did I just say? Okay, so I got my script mixed up. Sorry for that. I was going to talk about the other video, but then again, I kind of don't want to. Anyway, go subscribe to Tryhard Ninja, and remember to check out his content. Bye, I guess.